Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Some viewers wanted us to do some more on the 3 pence coins from Great Britain, and so here is a pile of them. These coins, which featured the young Queen Elizabeth II on them, this is the 27-year-old first portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was on these coins for their entire run from essentially 1953 until 1970. These coins were demonetized on August 31st, 1971, when Britain embraced the decimalization, and so the 3 pence coins, which were worth a quarter of a shilling, which were worth 1/80th of a British pound, were no longer fitting into the decimal system, and so these coins were removed from circulation. Now, I say that this coin had the same image on the front from 1953 to 1970, but it didn't really have, it had the same image, which is the Mary Gillick image, but it had different wording on it. And we have done a video on the 1953 version of the coin, and I'll just put it up here, and I'll show you what the difference is. So this is a 1953 here. Same image, the Mary Gillick image, but it says Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of all Britons. See where it says Brit here? Omni, all, Queen of all Britons. And this was the year of her coronation in 1953. And after that, they didn't put the Queen of all Britons on her coins. We went straight to this Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, and see it said Dea Gratia instead of Dea Gra, and Regina, Queen and Defender of the Faith. So from 1954 until 1970, it was this image and this wording. And so you won't see many differences between them. This was a coin that got tremendous amounts of use in the British currency system, and essentially it was worth for many years about the same as an American nickel. And it's a big, tough coin. It's heavy, 6.8 grams. It's a nickel brass. Um, it is dodecagonal, or else you might want to call it 12-sided, and a little bit of a rounding to the edge, so it's not sharp or anything. And on the front, we have, again, the image of Queen Elizabeth II with the so-called first portrait. On the back, we see that it says 3 on this side in words, pence on this side going up, the year down below, which is 1964. And if we blow it way up, we see that this is one of those kind of chained gates that would protect a castle, or, essentially you go over the moat and then there's this big chained gate or portcullis protecting the castle. And down at the bottom here, which is kind of cool, it's hard to see unless you blow it up, is a W and a G. So this is a William Maving Gardner engraving here. And you can see how finely he did the chain and the metal on the portcullis and the spikes that went down so that it would kind of be immovable, hopefully. Down here we see the year, 1964, and at the top we see the kind of crown with almost a fleur-de-lis, almost here, the whole crown, and then the cross in the center. So this coin was made in various amounts between 1954 and 1970. In the 50s, it started out between 20 and 40 million. In the 60s, they bumped it up a little bit to between 40 and 80 million. And then the last big gasp was the 1967 coin. Let's see if we can find one of those here. I think we probably have one. The 1967 coin, which they made, let me see, there's got to be one here. Is that one right there? Okay. The 1967 coin, they made 152 million of these. So they never made more than, well, they made 80 million in 1960. but they never really made more than 40 or 50 million a year before then. And then in 1967, knowing that things were going to change with decimalization and knowing that there was going to be, thinking that there might actually even be a new portrait on the 3 pence if they didn't do decimalization, they printed a bunch of these. And so this is the 1967, 152 million of these were made. In 1970, so I said it went from 1954 to 1970, but in 1970, those were really only proof coins that they printed. They printed 750,476 proof coins. So if you get the 1970 version of this, you probably aren't going to get it in regular currency. You probably only see it at a dealer encased in plastic or some kind of wrap, because the 1970 version of this only came out in proof, and there were 750 plus thousand, and it's worth about $6.50. Now, the 67 coin, this one's worth 35 to 50 cents, and none of these coins, and you can see how they would wear. I mean, they just got so much use. They would turn brown, they would wear, they would kind of get these spots on them. But if you think about it, we're talking about a coin that is this right now. This coin's 58 years old. So all these coins are over 50 years old and have been used constantly, or had been used constantly until 1971 when they were demonetized. All right, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel, and if you have any comments, please leave them in the comments section.